Trigger and I will be walking around Australia by ourselves, so solo unsupported. And the aim is I want to raise awareness for PTSD and mental health issues. I'd like people to feel they can talk freely about the struggle as opposed to feeling ashamed and keeping it to themselves. So if I have to walk 20,000 Ks to do that, then I'm happy to do it.
Then you're prepared to do it. Can you tell us about why you're drawing attention to post-traumatic stress disorder, and do I draw that natural conclusion that as a former serviceman you either endured it or you knew blokes who did and maybe didn't endure it very well?
Yeah, absolutely. I have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress and have suffered a fair bit. Sort of hit the lowest point about a year ago, and I've been coming back from that. A big reason is, I guess, I've lost a few mates to suicide, and in fact, just sitting out in the lobby there waiting, I found out about another one that took his own life last night. So it's a real problem, and we all know it's a real problem.
A soldier, Royce?
Yes, yeah, another ex-soldier, yep.
Can we, and I'll be careful here too, can you tell me about being a soldier and being in Afghanistan and what it is about that experience that started to impact on you in the way it did, and how it did impact on you? We've talked about this subject a lot, so I guess I'm asking you to be as comfortable as you want other people to be about what this thing is.
Yeah, I can try. To be honest, whilst I was serving over there, I enjoyed the job, and it was a job that I wanted to do. I think returning home and having the time to think about some of the things we saw or were involved in, I think that's when it starts to get to you. So I can't pinpoint an event that's gotten to me, but I was speaking to my father yesterday, and I spoke about a few events, and I did notice myself winding up a bit. So I think it's a combination of everything.
A cumulative thing, so it's not one single experience, it's the whole thing. Is it also that you now live in a world that is very different from where you were? So you can go home at night and sit down on a couch and your head fills with things of other times and other places?
Yeah, that's 100% correct. And the fact that over there we have to be hyper-vigilant, and switching that off is not easy at all. And so that affects us all when we return.
Tell me what post-traumatic stress disorder did to you. How did it show itself to you? And when did you know? You knew that something's wrong, but when do you get a diagnosis that says, listen, young man, we've seen this before and this is what you have?
Yep. I guess shortly after I returned, I knew something was wrong, but I was in denial. Admitting you have PTSD is basically throwing away your career in the army. So that's why a lot of
Is it really? Is it still?
It is, yes. And that's a shame, I think. And over the last year I've been privileged to meet some great ex-soldiers who are very bitter about the fact that if you're found to have it, then you'll be medically discharged, and they lose everything. They lose their career, their structure, everything. And I think personally that makes the problem worse.
Royce, we are told when we talk to the Defence Force in this country that they are aware that more and more service personnel will return to the country having suffered post-traumatic stress disorder, and they say that they will look after those people. Now, you are comparatively recently returned. Do you feel looked after?
I want to make it clear that there is help out there, and I'm not saying there isn't. I think there's room for improvement for the process of getting the help. Because if you're at rock bottom and you're struggling to live day to day, it's not very easy to go through jumping through hoops for 12 months to get on a program.
Yeah.
And that's where I think there could be a good change.
Can I ask what rock bottom looked like and felt like for you?
I'll say this, if it wasn't for Trigger, I may not be here today.
Yeah. When did you get Trigger?
I've got him on the 7th of August, 2013. He was 7 weeks old. He was He was about the size of his head, and he sat in.
And he's huge now.
He is. I think it's just unconditional love. I can tell him anything. He can see if I'm upset, and he knows he'll walk away or come give me a cuddle. And that's a big thing. I lost my girlfriend with this, and yeah, it's just it's very isolating. So I just think Trigger understands.
Do you know what? I'm so glad. I met Royce the other night at a function to commemorate the start of an organisation called Alongside. And some of you will remember when we've talked about post-traumatic stress disorders in the last couple of years, a woman named Sarah rang the program to talk about her husband, who's a police officer, who had significant PTSD problems. But she also talked about what it was like to be the partner of someone really struggling. Well, on Thursday night, I was just thrilled to launch this new organisation called Alongside and meet Royce Hardman. I didn't meet Trigger then, but we're meeting him today. So you're going to walk around the country.
Correct.
With your dog.
Yes. Solo, unsupported.
And you're going to yarn to people?
We are. I actually would like to encourage people to come have a chat or come walk with me. I've already had some remarkable messages. I've actually heard from a digger's mother. Unfortunately, he was killed in Afghanistan, and me and her have had some good chats, and she's opening up, which I think is amazing.
And what will this do for you?
Well, it's not about me, it's about everyone else.
Yeah, but I think it's about you finding meaning in a really difficult circumstance and doing something important.
To be honest, it's already helped me by giving me something to focus on. And I've been told by someone who's in tears that I've already helped them. So for me, I can't ask for anything more.